So Donald Trump is melting down in real time on social media. And I don't know, man. It seems that some of the Trump supporters aren't buying it. They are not buying this cover up for Jeffrey Epstein. It turns out that some of Donald Trump's supporters actually did care about those victims getting justice and taking down the creeps that were trafficking these women. Who would have thought? Turns out they actually did care about that, unlike Donald Trump. Because you see, what's happening now is Dan Bongino, he is considering resigning from the FBI. And there's already talks so far. I'm going to show you in just a second. Some people believe that he already left. He is considering resigning because he had this heated confrontation with Pam Bondi over the Epstein files. So first of all, let's push back on this a little bit. First of all, what heated conversation? They all signed off on it. They all signed off on it. So what Dan Bongino's trying to do is he's trying to put the blame on Pam Bondi. She's the scapegoat. Everybody point at Pam. Let's blame her for everything. But I want to remind you here again, all parties signed off on it. You can see this here from Real Patrick Webb. Breaking: Deputy AG Todd Blanche denies any disagreements between Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and Dan Bongino over the Epstein case, claiming that all parties signed off on it. Well, what do you know? What do you know, right? So Dan got people yelling at him and pointing fingers at him. And he's like, oh my God, let me try to remove myself from this situation as much as possible. And apparently there are rumblings that he may have already left. He may have already left his position, but didn't announce that he resigned. Check this out here. This is from Emily Jasinski. Yeah, Emily from Breaking Points. This isn't just gossip. As of right now, it appears Bongino is on his way out through one source. Though one source cautioned people's minds can always change. So that's what Emily was saying, that one of the sources is saying he may already be out and he's just not saying anything about it, right? I don't know. But the whole let's blame Pam Bondi thing, apparently people weren't buying that as much, right? And then you got people coming out saying all of you guys signed off on it anyway. So it was theater. Now you still have people like Laura Loomer coming forward and saying, Pam Bondi, this is all your fault.
My name is Pam Bondi, and I'm the Attorney General of the United States. And let me tell you, Ainsley, let me tell you, Peter, those Epstein files were delivered to my office in a dump truck, in a big FBI dump truck. And there's a lot of real powerful men on those lists. And there's a lot of really powerful people, I'll tell you, Sean, who are about to take private jets out of our country. But I'm Pam Bondi, the best attorney general you've ever seen in this country. And I'm going to hold these people accountable. Oh, well, golly, Sean, I guess I misspoke when I said the files were on my desk. I guess I misspoke when I said that the files were going to be delivered in a dump truck. I mean, every day it's another story with this woman. And it's not just me. Look, I'm going to play the video clips for you tonight and we're going to go through the timeline and you're going to see yourself. But the problem is we are witnessing a Fox News cabinet. It's like a reality TV cabinet. And everybody knows I love President Trump. I support President Trump. I think a lot of his cabinet picks are great people. But
so that's something I wanted to call out right there, right? Pam Bondi isn't doing anything that Donald Trump doesn't want her to do. Notice how she made sure to say, I like President Trump. I support President Trump. He's not doing anything that she's not doing anything that Donald Trump doesn't want her to do. None of that. So all these people pointing fingers at Pam Bondi like, bam, bam, bam. Who's our boss? Who can fire her? Because they don't want to point fingers at Donald Trump, right? Don't want to point fingers at the Don. However, I just want to remind you what Donald Trump said about the Epstein files. Listen to this.
Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah.
I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know it. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would, or at least
do you think that would restore trust? Help restore trust?
Yeah, I don't know about Epstein so much as I do the others.
What an odd thing to say.
I didn't know you were going to be talking about this.
Yeah. Notice that? All of a sudden when Epstein comes in, I don't really know about that one and da-da-da. And I don't really know. Ooh. People wonder why. Right? Because one of the things he said is that it would impact people's lives. Now Donald Trump has lost it even more. He went on a rant on Truth Social, and for the first time, it appears that he was ratioed. People are not buying this. They're not buying what he's saying about Epstein. So if you guys don't believe me, when I said Pam Bondi isn't doing anything that Donald Trump doesn't want her to do, listen to the statement that Donald Trump gave, which includes Pam Bondi. Trump on Epstein controversy. Let Pam Bondi do her job. Oh. This was the statement. I'm reading it from the article because otherwise, like on Twitter and stuff, like I have to go through different portions of it where I can just read the whole thing here. This was the statement. What's going on with my boys? And in some cases, gals. They're all going after Attorney General Pam Bondi, who is doing a fantastic job. We're on one team, MAGA, and I don't like what's happening. We have a perfect administration. The talk of the world and selfish people are trying to herd it all over a guy who never dies, Jeffrey Epstein. That's just part of it. So you see how he said Pam Bondi's doing a great job? Like I said, she's doing exactly what he wants her to do. So stop pointing fingers at Pam Bondi and point your fingers at Donald Trump, which it appears some people started doing. We'll get into that. He goes on to say here, for years, it's Epstein over and over again. Why are we giving publicity to files written by Obama, crooked Hillary, Comey, Brennan, and the losers and the criminals of the Biden administration who conned the world with Russia hoax, 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, and more. And this is the part that I don't even think some of the strongest Trump supporters would agree with this one. Look, there's many things that you can blame Obama, Biden, Hillary, Bill for, but this ain't one of them, bruh. This ain't one of them, especially considering someone like Bill Clinton was also friends with Epstein. So that don't fit. That don't work. Don't work. So he is seriously trying to blame it all on Barack Obama and the Clintons. They created the Epstein files. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? When Bill Clinton was questioned about going to Epstein Island, he smiled and walked away. You got to be kidding me. What does that say to the victims? Let's continue. Lost his damn mind. They created the Epstein files, just like they created the fake Hillary Clinton, Christopher Steele dossier that they used on me. And now my so-called friends are playing right into their hands. So pause. First, you said there were no Epstein files. Let's get this together. Yeah, we'll release the files. Nope, there are no files. Now you're saying there are files and they were created. Which is it? Follow me down this road, peeps. Follow me down this road. Okay? Let's continue to go on. Trump wrote in the post referring to FBI's probe into the alleged ties between Russia and Trump's 2016 campaign. Why didn't these radical left lunatics release the Epstein files? If there was anything in there that could have hurt the MAGA movement, why didn't they use it? Two things. One, they could have done that if they wanted to. But two, I don't remember them promising to do that. They didn't promise to do that. Your administration did. You guys promised to do those things. Trump and Donald Trump Jr. and all these peeps, all of you guys promised to do that. Biden didn't promise to do that. Also, we know that they wouldn't have done that because some of them are supposedly implicated as well. Does he really think people are this dumb? It goes on. He goes on to say here, this is crazy. They haven't even given up on John F. Kennedy or Martin Luther King Jr. files. Wow. The work is being carried out seamlessly and with unity. Any attempt to sow division within this team is baseless and distracts from real progress being made in restoring public safety and pursuing justice for all. Let Pam Bondi do her job. She's great. The 2020 election, he goes into that. We can't repeat that here on YouTube, but he goes into the 2020 election. And then he says, that's what she is looking into as AG and much, much more. 1 year ago, our country was dead. Now it's the hottest country anywhere in the world. The president said on Truth Social. So, guys, let's keep it that way and not waste time and energy on Jeffrey Epstein, somebody no one cares about. Here is Donald Trump telling you not to put any attention on Jeffrey Epstein. Someone who was trafficking minors. Oh, don't worry about that thing. Just put that over there in the corner. Bury it. Put it over there in the corner. Don't worry about that. Crazy stuff, guys. It's insane. Trump in the Truth Social post also goes on to say here, Kash Patel and the FBI must focus on investigating voter fraud, political corruption, Act Blue, the rigged, and he goes into the rigged in 2020, arresting thugs and criminals, except for that one. Instead of spending month after month looking at nothing but the same old radical left inspired documents on Jeffrey Epstein. So the people who frequented Jeffrey Epstein's island and his company were on the right and the left. So now he tries to say this is a radical left thing. Does everybody see how crazy this sounds? He says don't focus on it. Yet here's Alan Dershowitz saying, yeah, there's actually files.
Every document would prove I was innocent. So let me tell you, I know for a fact documents are being suppressed. And they're being suppressed to protect individuals. I know the names of the individuals. I know why they're being suppressed. I know who's suppressing them. But I'm bound by confidentiality from a judge and cases, and I can't disclose what I know. But I hand to God, I know the names of people whose files are being suppressed in order to protect them.
And he's not going to say anything because he was Epstein's lawyer. So legally, he's like, oh, I'm bound by confidentiality, right? Like it just, this is bad. And check this out. Some people aren't falling for it. This guy, Tony, says, holy crap, Donald Trump for the first time in Truth Social history has been officially ratioed by his Epstein tweet. It actually wasn't a tweet. This is a Truth Social post. So this is the post that I was just reading from that article there. So see the ratio, at that time, 19.3K likes, over 20,000 comments. There's more. MAGA is torching Trump in the replies of his Truth Social post over his Epstein post. Never seen this kind of backlash. There are thousands of comments like this. Unreal. Here's some of them you can check out, guys. Not buying it, Mr. President. Downplaying this without disclosing the truth of Epstein. His island, Jelaine locked up for supposedly non-existent issue. Mossad, CIA involvement, etc. It's gone too far to dismiss. Let the complete truth come out. This goes a bit past the disinformation is necessary excuse. I'll continue to stand by you, but my trust level will definitely not be maxed out anymore. Like I said, as I've said before, you shouldn't trust any politician. But check out this one. Americans care because there needs to be accountability. Without accountability, the same sickos that were his customers are likely still abusing children. On top of that, it is a slap in the face to many of the victims that have come forward or people that are living with the memories of a ruined childhood. This can't be swept under the rug. God bless the victims. Oh, people not happy. Another one. This is going to cost you so many supporters. I being one of them. I have been to multiple rallies and even was there on January 6th. This is one of the main things that needs fixed. Our two-tiered system of justice needs to end. We, the people, are tired of it. They can't be charged with child trafficking without there being perpetrators. Alan Dershowitz, who was accused of being one of them, has seen the list when he went to defend himself. We want the guilty to pay. So you guys see what's happening here? Yeah, enough is enough. I've seen people are burning hats. They burning hats out here, fam. They burning hats. I said you ready to drive. They're telling me. I gotta mute it because of the music. But people are burning hats all on social media. People are mad. Not everybody, but people are mad. See? Because again, like I said, that was one of the things that they said that they were going to do. You know, it reminds me when people were upset with Biden when he promised those $2,000 checks and he didn't deliver those $2,000 checks. Here's what Judge Napolitano thinks. And I hope everyone had a chance to answer the poll as well. Check this out.
I think Trump's name is on the list. I think Mossad knows it. I think Mossad told their American stenographer, who happens to be the director of the CIA, who takes down and regurgitates everything Mossad told him. And I think that stenographer whispered it into the president's ear. And he's terrified that this will come out because he knows it will be the beginning of the end, whether there's a Republican Congress or a Democrat Congress. That's what I honestly believe has happened. Now, obviously, I haven't seen the files.
Like I said, a lot of those people ran in the same circles. A lot of those people were friends and buddies with Jeffrey Epstein, right? Look at the crowd reaction here when Laura Ingraham presents this at Turning Point USA. She was also there. Listen to what happens.
How many of you are satisfied? You can clap. Satisfied with the results of the Epstein investigation? Clap. Okay, I told you to clap. You guys aren't listening. I'm not going to grade you on a curve. So I was going to get to that. How many of you are not satisfied with the results of the investigation?
Again, I would say this. Let me say something else. I would honestly say, had they not stressed this was something that they were going to do, had they not been so, I don't know, promising about it, maybe people wouldn't have been pressing the way that they did. But you did, you said you were gonna, and then and then it's just his reaction the last time we discussed when he said that, stop talking about it. Why are you bringing this guy up again? Are you talking about Epstein? Are you bringing this guy up again? Why are you talking about this guy again? The same people, the same administration that's telling you, we got to stop the crime. We got to go after the criminals. We got to cut back, get cut back on the crime and the gangs and all that kind of stuff. They don't want to go after the biggest gang of all. And that's the billionaire class that can be even more corrupt and cruel and vindictive and can traffic people, apparently, with all the money and the resources that they have. And for those who are like, upset and angry about this is why I speak to again. That's why I say you should not make a politician your hero. I saw people share pictures of Trump in Superman's costume and all this type of stuff saying our hero, our leader, yeah. You putting all your energy and your trust into a politician instead of putting that energy into yourself and your community and doing for your community. Because say what you want about me, say what you want about those of us at RBN, but we do mutual aid. We organize, we help people within our community. I host mutual aid workshops to show you how to do it too. But what you won't see me do is you won't see me make a politician my hero because I've been there. I did that. That was Obama for me. Wealthy people are going to protect wealthy people also. The billionaire class is going to protect the billionaire class. They sure as hell not going to let all their buddies go down. Donald Trump ain't going to let his buddies go down. That's just a matter of fact. Now, they'll throw poor people in jail. They'll protect their rich friends. Don't put your trust in a politician. Don't put your hope in don't put your faith in a politician. Hey guys, this was a Sabby clip. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe.